Hello everyone and welcome back. So one of the key things that can help your application stand out from other applications is the tab button, right? So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to build a very nice custom tab button for your React Native application. So for this and more, let's dive into it. Alright, so as usual, I've already set up my project, which I'm not going to cover that in this video, okay? I already have a video on that. You can check it out. I'm going to leave the link down below. Just click on the link. It's going to take you to this particular video, right? It's going to help you to set up your project. And once you are done with that, you are good to go. Great. So the next thing we are going to look into are the libraries that are required for this project, okay? And then the first one that we are going to install is the React Navigation Native, okay? So when you go to the React Navigation documentation and then you scroll down to the installation section, it basically shows you the command that requires for the installation, okay? So when you come to the installation section, all you need to do is copy this command, right? And then go to your terminal. So I'm just going to open my terminal, new terminal, paste the command here, right? And then press enter to install the library for you. I'm not going to do that because I've already installed it, right? And once you are done with that, when you go back to the documentation, it states here that there are some libraries that you need to install in addition to this one, right? Which are the React Native screens and React Native save area context. So when you come down here, it shows you the command that you need to run to install those two packages. So we go back to our project, and then in our terminal, we are going to paste that command that we copied here, okay? So this is also going to install the other two libraries for you. Great. So once you are done with these two installations, you can check inside your dependency object, right? You should have these two additional libraries in your app.json file, right? Now once you are done with that, the next one we are going to look into is the React Navigation tab buttons, right? So we will go to the documentation for that. I'm going to leave the link down below as well, okay? So once you come here, go to installation section and then copy this, right? So React or npm install React Navigation / button tabs, right? So you copy this command, go back to your terminal, paste it inside there, and then press enter to install it for you. Now once you are done with this installation as well, the last one that we are going to install is the Expo vector icons. So we want to use some icons in our application, right? So we have to just go to our terminal and then type npm install and then at expo / vector -icons and then press enter. So this is also going to install this package for you, right? So I think we've covered all the packages that are required for the project. Now we can proceed. Now the next thing we are going to do is start our application, okay? So open your terminal and then type npm run start. So this is going to start the Metro bundler for you. And once it's done, we are going to get a QR code that we can actually scan with our physical device. Alright, so our Metro bundler is ready. And as you can see, we have the QR code here, right? So the next thing we are going to do is use our Expo Goal application on our physical device to scan the QR code and then run the application on our physical device, okay? So I'm just going to click on scan QR code on my physical device and then scan the QR code right there. So this is going to build the application for us. And once it's done, we should see this text on our screen. Great. So as you can see, we are displaying welcome to Hub on our phone screen, which means our application is up and running. Now, let's proceed. Now, the next thing I'm going to cover or we are going to look into are the packages that we are going to import, okay? So as usual, we are importing React, and then let's just quickly talk about the key things. So the first one is navigation container, okay? And we are importing it from React Navigation Native. So this container is going to be the wrapper around the entire application, okay? So what you are going to do is you're going to come inside our app function, right? And then we are going to wrap everything with this app navigation container, okay? So I'm just going to paste it right here and then move everything inside that. Now, the next thing I would like us to talk about is the create button tab navigator. Okay, so this is what we are going to use to create our tab navigator. So I'll just come to the top here and then type const tab, and then I'm going to paste the create button tab navigator right here to create a tab for us. So we are going to use this tab to create our navigator and also create our screens. Okay, now before we move on to the UI side, let me quickly paste in the styles that will be required for the project. Great, so these are the styles that are required for the project. Okay, so we are using style sheet to create an object or a styles object for our stylings. Now the next thing we are going to do is create our screens that will be we are going to use for this particular project. Okay, so I'm just quickly going to paste them right here. So they are just basically components. Okay, ideally we are supposed to create a folder, let's say screens, and then create each screen separately and then import them here, right? But because this is a short video and I don't want to waste time, I'm just going to define the screens in here. Okay, and they are just basically components. So we have some view and then text inside it. And then we are using the styles that we created right here. Okay, so that is basically what is happening here. So we have our home screen, we have our search screen, favorites, profile, and then notification screens. Great, now let's proceed to actually creating our navigator, okay, or our tab navigator. So in here I'm just going to call the tab that I initiated at the top, right? I'm going to call tab.navigator, and then inside this tab navigator we are going to define our screens or the tab screens. So this is how we define our tab screens. So we call the tab again and then dot screens, okay, and then we provide a name for the tab, we provide a component that it should render, and then some options that comes with it. So these options, inside it we have the tab label, and you can change it to whatever you want, and it's going to make sure the label of the tab goes with that particular name. Let's save this and then let's see what we get on our physical device. Great, so as you can see we have this home screen showing. It has some header at the top which says home, and then down there we have some label which is home, right? So when we change the label to, let's say, man, and then we save, you see the label down there has changed to man. Okay, so let's go back and then stick to the home. Now I'm just going to go ahead and then paste the rest of the screens. All right, so all the screens follow the same pattern, right? The only difference that is in here is the notification screen. Okay, so under the notification screen we've added a new option which is the tab badge, okay, or tab bar badge, and then we are passing in 3 here. And as you can see on our physical device, at the Alex section we have this red circle and then we have this number 3 inside it, right? And that serves as a badge for our tab. Great, and as you can see we're able to navigate through our screens. Great, now we are getting closer, but we are far from what we actually want to achieve, right? Now we have to give each tab some kind of icon or something to beautify it. Great, so that takes us to the next chapter of this video. Okay, so this tab navigator takes in a screen prop, right? So we are going to define our screen prop, and then inside it we can define all the styles and everything that we want to do to the tab button, right? So we have this prop here which is screen options, right? And then we can get the props or some props from that particular one, but here we are destructuring it and then getting the route. With the route you can get the route name, and then we are going to use the route name right here. Okay, but before we talk about the route name, down here you can see we've actually set our header to false. Currently you can see when you check on our physical device we have home header, we have search header, we have favorite, notification, and then profile. We don't want to show that particular header, right? So we are setting the shown header to false to hide it. And then in here we are providing or we are creating our own tab bar icon. Okay, and then it comes with some props which include focus, color, and then size. So when you click on, let's say, home tab, right? Once we click on the home tab, the focus for that particular tab turns to true, and then the color turns to the color that we define in here. Okay, so we are going to get to the section, but then we get a focus and then the color right here. And then based on that, we can now increase our icon size and then also uh, change our icon name. That is basically what is happening inside here. Okay, so here we define the icon name and then the icon size. So the icon size is either 28 or 24 depending on the focus. So if the home tab is active, then the icon size is going to be 28, and then the icon name is going to be home. If it's not active, then it's going to be this, right? So that is what this switch statement is also doing. At the end, it returns this component which has the icon inside it, and then we are returning the icon name, size, and then the color right here. Okay, and then down here we are creating some dots around or dots beneath the icons. Don't worry, let me save this and hopefully you get to see what I'm talking about. Great. So when you check the tab, which is the home tab, we have this dot icon between the icon and then the label of the tab, right? That is this particular one. And then down here we are defining the color of our tab, right? So if the tab is active, we define or we pass in this color, right? If the tab is not active, we pass in this color, right? So these two colors is what we are going to receive here based on the status of the tab. And then here we are defining some styles for our labels and also our tab bar. So now once you're done, for it to actually take effect, we have to probably reload the application, right? Great. So now you can see some difference, right? And now we can move through our screens or our tabs. Great. Now it's left with one thing that we need to tackle or handle. When you click on a tab, right, you could see some deep gray ripple that comes after the touch, right? Doesn't look great to me, so I would want us to do away with that particular effect. So in order to do that, we have to probably create our own custom button for our tabs, right? So I'm just going to go inside the app function, and then I'm just going to create this particular button right here. Okay, so this button takes in a couple of props: the children, on press, and then accessibility state, right? So with the accessibility state, we can actually know that this tab is actually active or not, right? And then on press, when you press on that particular tab, what should happen, right? And then the children is what we are going to render inside whatever component that we are creating. So we are basically creating a touchable component. We pass in the on press, we give it an opacity of 70%, and then we pass in some styles right here. Inside it, we have this view component, and then we have some styles defined to it, and then inside it we are passing in the children, right? This is just a basic component that we've actually created. Now we need to find a way to link this tab button to our navigator. Okay, and of course you have to go inside our options screen. Okay, down here it takes in another prop or field, which is tab bar button. Okay, so with this tab bar button, you can actually define your own custom button and then utilize it. Okay, so here we are getting the props, and then we are spreading the props to our component, which is our custom tab button, right? And then with this, we can actually render our tabs just like we want it. So now when we go to our screens again, and then we click on each tab or any of the tabs, you see now we are not getting the dark ripple effect anymore, right? Which is awesome. And I think this is what we actually aim to achieve, right? Yeah, so we can now proceed and then add a status bar to our project. Okay, so you can just come down inside our navigator or beneath our navigator right here, and then you're going to define our status bar here. Great, so let's save it. Yeah, everything looks great. Let me refresh to and see. Awesome, so everything looks great, and I think that's it for this video. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly click on the subscribe button, like the video, share the video with friends, and see you in the next one. Happy coding.